Reds will have Gennett, Votto, and Duvall to lead it off. And boy, aren't we pleased to have the general manager, president of baseball operations of the Reds with us, Dick Williams. Dick, how you doing, buddy?
Good to see you, gentlemen.
Good to see you too, Dick. Welcome to Denver. Nice, not steamy Denver, but it's a little warm out here.
Always a good place to watch ball games.
It sure is.
These games have not been like typical Coors Field games, have they? They've been like more like regular games.
No, they've been competitive and low scoring, and as you saw last night, you know, we kept feeling like we were one swing away. I like those tight ball games.
Gennett will lead things off as he takes ball 1 low. He's one of the many things we want to talk to you about. This guy has been off the charts good for the Reds this year, and you guys picked him up right at the end of spring training.
Yeah, we're very fortunate, and give all the credit to our pro scouting staff. You know, Scooter came on waivers, and we had 48 hours to make a decision. And the conviction of our pro scouting staff made the decision easy. They really felt strongly this guy could add to us offensively. We'd seen him across the diamond. What we didn't know was how well he would fit inside the clubhouse. The fans should know this kid is tremendous. He's a great player and a good person, and he's made us look. He's made our pro scouting staff look real smart for believing in him.
Well, Dick, how do you balance out though the Scooter Gennett phenomenon, which right now he's 27 years old. He just turned 27 in May. I mean, is that too old to be part of the rebuilding process going on here?
No.
And has he earned everyday playing time?
No, those are good questions. And you know, right now we're looking for talent. And you know, he's an under control young player. Some of these guys blossom a little later than others. I mean, Frazier, you know, didn't even come into the big leagues until the later part of his 20s. And so Scooter's got his best days in front of him. You know, anybody that's willing to play hard, work hard, and be a good teammate and perform on the field is got a spot in our rebuild, that's for sure, and he fits the bill.
Well, you mentioned your pro scouts really had the conviction that this guy was a guy that could come in here and help, but I don't think anybody could see into the future as to what he has done.
No, absolutely not. I wouldn't pretend that you know, we had him pegged. He certainly exceeded our expectations, hitting as many home runs as he has to date, you know, as much as he's done in a season before. So you know, we're seeing some things we haven't seen before, but when we picked him up, you know, I think I talked to you guys towards the end of spring training. We really thought that a left-handed power bat would be something that would help us, and a guy that could play a bunch of positions. You know, he's obviously most proficient at second, but the ability to move him to the corners in the outfield, play third, you know, gives him a lot of value.
Does your trip out here just happen to coincide with Sal Romano here, or did you come out specifically to watch Sal pitch?
No, I'd already scheduled it. You know, wanted to be here with the team for a few days, and you know, it always is nice when it works out that way. When you get to see someone like Sal pitch. You know, he had that one outing earlier in the year, and you know, I've been anxious for him to get back and have another shot, because we know there's a lot more in the tank, and he didn't really get to show it that first time. There's a lot of nerves. You know, this year's about young pitchers coming up, and you guys have seen your fair share of young pitching. You know, I think sometimes people's expectations are that these guys are talked about so much in the minors nowadays, there's so much more publicity, that they expect when they arrive they're going to be a finished product. And when you look at guys, Chris Carpenter or Roy Halladay, I mean, these plenty of pitchers that have great major league careers, you know, go back and look at their first couple years, and it's really not like you come in and pitch one game or two games and then you're ready. You're fully finished product. It takes a little while, and so I was anxious for these guys to keep getting opportunities.
Well, Dick, pretty soon you're going to have to make a decision as to which of these pitchers are elite enough to get more shots at it, because now you've run out of starting rotation spots with Homer Bailey back, Feldman throwing the ball well, Luis Castillo coming out of Double-A throwing the ball well. There just aren't that many spots open in the rotation like there were early in the year. So I would imagine opportunities like what Romano is getting today are becoming scarcer and scarcer.
They certainly are, and it's more important for these guys to take advantage of them. You know, hopefully in the second half we can anoint a five-man rotation coming out of the break and let those guys have a little consistency. You know, we were forced to kind of manage the roster a little defensively in the first half with what was going on with some of the short starts and some of the injury issues. And you know, it'd be nice to come out of the break and let these guys know that whoever's in that five-man rotation is going to get, you know, multiple chances at it, and not feel like each start is you know, is an audition.
Dick, you mentioned injuries, and We're all concerned about Devin Mesoraco's health. Kind of shocked the other day when we heard the news that he has had some left shoulder issues again. Can you kind of give us an update on what's going on?
Well, everything I've been told is that it's not linked to what he had before, and it was caused when he was kind of reaching across his body to catch a ball. And I just hope something that can calm down quick. These kind of arm things tend to linger, especially in the lat, in that area.
Wow.
So we're optimistic that that's something that rest will address. But boy, it sure seems like he's just been snake bit.
Weird play right there. Gonzalez or Reynolds could have caught that ball. Neither of them did. Ultimately, they get the force out at second base. It'll go a simple 9-6 force out at second on Votto for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, the Rockies lucky that they were able to make something out of nothing right here. Votto couldn't go anywhere because it just looked like an easy pop-up. Dick, the Reds drafted number 2 in the draft this year. You picked the guy I think that you guys really wanted, that were hoping that would fall to you. Hunter Green, out of the high school kid, 17-year-old out of the Los Angeles, California area. And as yet, we've not heard whether he signed. So give us an update on what's going on with the negotiations.
Yeah, I was hoping to get, we were hoping to get that done as soon as possible. Sometimes these things tend to stretch longer than anybody likes. The deadline for getting him signed is tomorrow at 5 p.m. And we're still in discussions with his camp. I'm still very optimistic that we'll get something done. I really hope to get that behind us tomorrow and get him out playing. I really think for his benefit, the sooner we can get him out throwing, the better, and get him ready for next year.
Solid contact by Suarez to center field. That's going to score Gennett and put the Reds back in front of this game here in the third. Gennett with RBI 44. Reds have taken a 2-1 lead.
Dick, one follow-up question on the Hunter Green. Administratively, worst case scenario, if a young man in Hunter Green's situation does not sign, what happens then?
Yeah, you really hope it doesn't come to that, but there certainly are rules set up to accommodate that scenario, and it does happen every couple years. Happened a few years ago to the Houston Astros. You have a guy that doesn't sign. You're awarded a pick in the following year's draft, one spot behind where you drafted this year, and that would be number 3 pick in next year's draft, in addition to whatever pick we earn in the first round. And that's meant to give the club some leverage so that we're able to negotiate in good faith with the player and know that if at the end of the day our offer is not good enough, there's some value in it to fall back on. And sure worked out for the Astros when they ended up coming back the next year, and I think picking Bregman with that extra pick that they got. And, it's not the route you set out to do. I think both sides, the goal is to get a deal signed. I still am really optimistic that we will. Sometimes it just comes down to the end. He's not the only first rounder this year that hasn't signed yet. There's a bunch of kids out there that haven't inked that final contract. I think the agents, they want to squeeze as much as they can out of it.
That's a 1-6-3 double play that ends the top of the third for the right-hander Tyler Chatwood. Reds get a run. Dick, can you hang around a little bit longer?
Sure.
All right. Keep him here for one more half inning. Middle of the third, the Reds lead 2-1.